Welcome to the Hope Athletics Orange and Blue podcast. My name is Alan Babbitt, Sports Information Director here at Hope College. It's been a pleasure of mine this school year to talk with Hope College coaches and staff as we navigate the certainly interesting, to say the least, 2020-21 school year. With me today is head softball coach Mary VandeHoef, also the Dow Center Director here at Hope College. Mary, it's been a year for you guys since you played a softball game. It's been longer since we've been able, for me, to even see you at home play a softball game. You guys have been preparing, to play here very soon. What's the mood, the excitement? I don't know what the right word is, kind of anxiousness, I would imagine, but what, just talk about kind of how this softball team is right now as you get closer to finally taking the field.
Yeah, we are so excited to be able to play again. And, the fall was sort of this really great energy and a renewed appreciation, I guess I would say, after, the loss of the 2020 season. And, last spring was just really, really hard and, hard for our seniors last year, and Shelby, Jordan, and Amanda, and, whose last game came way earlier and in a really unexpected way without warning. And, for returners, had that same sense of loss as they were going through, but, freshmen too, they lost their, high school senior seasons. And so it was a pretty unifying thing in the fall of sometimes there's this, freshmen are coming off of high school, we're coming off of our returning season. Everyone had sort of that loss and had been struggling with it in their own ways. I mean, it took a hit to our mental health, no question. And last year navigating online classes, and it just was a lot of different feelings and emotions for our players. So did our best to really channel that energy in the fall of really appreciation of what we get the chance to do. In my lifetime, I've never seen something like that get taken away. And to have it happen when you're in your playing years is really hard. So we wanted to acknowledge that, but also be like moving forward and pressing on, and really were able to make the most of our fall season. Really grateful for what we were able to get a chance to do. So yeah, now we're just getting to get better every day and itching to get out there and play and compete. Like, I cannot wait to compete with this team and just get after it and enjoy it, but also take a lot of pride in trying to do things really well and with excellence, and getting after it. And this group is embracing that. I think they're whoever, whenever, let's play and let's go. And we'll be excited to get back out there, no question.
I know culture is important, something important for you for this softball program and the athletic department as a whole. How do you think that culture helped you guys absorb everything that has been going on to be there for each other, and wherever different stages people were at, that you guys were able to kind of rally together and not feel isolated, which is something obviously is a real challenge here in this pandemic?
Yeah, that was an aspect that was really hard, both last spring, this summer, this last break of this 2 months between first and second semesters. It was, there have definitely been aspects that are tough. I mean, as far as our culture, we talk about, being a 5-minute friend, being that friend and teammate who is there for each other when you do need it, in those moments when you needed someone to talk to or to FaceTime or text. I think they really did a good job of staying connected in their own way. And we try not to have that be too prescribed, that it feels organic and authentic, and people can, you gravitate towards, we're certainly connected as a team, but there's also teammates you have closer connections with, and letting some of those things play out. We've wanted our freshmen to feel connected and a part of things, and that's been tougher with just, some of the guidelines on campus, understandably so, and some of those policies being different. So yeah, really have had to work at the culture piece. I think our assistant coaches are incredible and great at helping our culture too, and helping our kids feel cared for and feel like they've got someone they can talk to and that are going to be reaching out, and that that they can process through things with. I think it's one thing to process through with a peer. I think it's another thing to process through with a coach or a mentor or someone that just has a little bit more space or distance from the immediacy of the things that they're feeling. And I know wisdom and things, things of that nature that I think have really helped our players. And that's where having, a coaching staff where we're 5 women who have a really different strengths and really different kind of reach within our team has really served our culture well. And it's always my hope that every one of our players definitely has, one of our coaches that they know at any point they could just, I'm struggling, we grab coffee, and our coaches love doing that sort of thing with our players as well. So that certainly helps, and good leadership. Our seniors are doing a great job. They're a great group, and they have good ideas and are really doing their best to keep the team together, which is good.
Let's talk about this year's team. Give us a little scouting report. How have you guys prepared? I know between practicing at the Dow Center and Sports Quest in Zeeland, the indoor facility there, what have you been working on as you've been preparing to take the field?
Yeah. Sports Quest is a real blessing. Being able to get there a couple times a week when their members aren't is such a great thing for us, to be able to go live, to be able to have a lot of batting cages out there. So that's been great in our preparation, and at the Dow the rest of the time. And yeah, we are excited about our group. We got 5 seniors, and all of whom certainly will have an opportunity for impact this year. Morgan, Sav, Joe, they've been in the everyday lineup since their freshman year, and that experience on the field is really critical. Morgan starting every game at third as a freshman, and then moved behind the plate ever since then, and does a tremendous job back there for us. Savannah is great on both sides of the ball, incredible defensive shortstop, and provides a lot of power for us in the part of the lineup. And Joe Cook as well in the outfield, really great source of energy and leadership for us, and it's a great read on the ball in the outfield, and is a 3-tool player at the plate. So really rely on that experience kind of in an on the field way. Megan Soderblom, we call her Sodi. She has been big for us these last 2 years, both in the circle. She's a great defensive first baseman, and with her offense that she brings, so excited to see what she'll bring this year in her senior season. And Claire Bates will definitely be in the mix and have some great opportunities at the DP spot, and has really come on strong offensively in these last 2 years of her career. So, we have great senior leadership and are excited to see what each of them will do. Kaylin Callow and Aaron King are juniors who make up the right side of our infield and bring really good things offensively as well. And then Avery and Chloe are both junior pitchers who have some really good solid innings under their belt heading into their junior years and in their first 2 years. And then Bree Nolan wraps up that junior class and has looked great at third, is likely to get a shot there this year as well. So yeah, and excited about both our freshman and sophomore classes. Certainly the sophomores in a unique situation of not having much on the field opportunities in games last spring. So not as much game experience, but we are excited to see what they'll do for us, both players in both of those classes. And we think we do have some freshmen and sophomores who will be some key pieces for us this year. So
obviously every softball team has maybe a unique identity or I don't know, style or traits. Some are a power base, some are speed and contact. How would you kind of assess offensively kind of how you guys are going to try to attack opponents this year?
Yeah, I mean, we play a pretty fun, aggressive style of softball. We want to do it. I don't want to face any pitcher who could shut us down offensively. So I want to have a variety of ways to score. We like to have some short game slappers, scrappers, in our lineup who can, find ways to get on and be kind of table setters for us, and also with the ability to drive in runs. Those types of players are great. We like to have power, certainly, in different spots in our lineup to be able to, with one swing, really change the momentum of a game. But I also really value the contact hitter who minimizes strikeouts, hits singles and doubles to score runs, that we can maybe have a little more compact swing so that we are putting the ball in play and forcing defenses to make plays. And we very much view base running as a critical part of our offensive attack and short game as well. So we really want to kind of get it done depending on who we're facing in a variety of different ways. And and to be able to be a tough team to beat. And I think that this year our offense is looking really solid, and we've worked at that piece a lot in this fall and through the off season, and as we've been going in the preseason. So excited to see what this offense will do for us, and yet certainly our sport is one where you got to pitch it and defend it to be in games, and we are optimistic about what we'll get in those two areas as well. So
With your pitchers, how are you approaching them? What are you asking for them when they're on that mound? Is it a matter of, building that trust with the defense so that they're making them, put the ball in play, versus obviously walks are always a concern. An old pitcher like myself as a baseball player knows walks are just killer, to a team. So what are your emphasis with your pitchers this year?
yeah, I mean, I want pitchers who want the ball in their hand, and who are for whichever pitcher has it in their hand. So I want a pitching staff that is a unit that wants to compete together, that trusts the decisions that we'll make as coaches for the combination and the way that we'll utilize our staff. We have 5 pitchers on our roster, and I absolutely think that each of them has the opportunity to give us good innings. So that's always a fun part of the first games of a season, is kind of seeing which combinations work well together, who has a great temperament to come in and shut a game down, who can get us twice through a lineup, those types of things that we're looking for from our pitchers. But I want pitchers who want to compete, who trust their stuff, who trust the defense behind them, that we can certainly minimize walks, minimize the damage that's done when we miss a spot, and but also pitchers who allow a defense to have confidence in them by their demeanor, by their confidence in themselves, by their ability to put the team on their back when we might not have as sharp of an inning as we'd like defensively, and who also trust that defense when there may be another team is scattering some hits, and knows that, I can throw and trust that the defense behind me is going to make it happen. So I just want there to be a real mutual belief in both of those directions, that a pitcher trusts their defense, that a defense also knows how critical it is to also, have the backs of their pitchers and be in it together and be competing. So
The schedule this year obviously is a little different because of, with the pandemic kind of adjusting things. And I know you guys are scheduled to open with a doubleheader down at Hanover, Indiana on March 6th. And then we'll visit Defiance a week later before finally opening up at Walter Stadium against Franklin on the 20th. And then from there, you're adding some more MIAA games, kind of some doubleheaders, to chance to play 2 different teams in one day. They won't count toward the league standings, but obviously a great opportunity to get some more games in. Talk about this year's schedule and kind of, how you assess it.
Yeah, schedule is definitely different. I mean, I first would be remiss to not mention just how critical it is to lose our spring trip. I mean, there's certainly the aspect of that, of playing 12 teams from across the country, trying to get as tough a schedule as we can, be tested well for the MIAA, and just the team aspect of our spring trip every year, the 1 week of the year when they are not balancing classes with softball, but the team, the bonding that happens down there, you start to see freshman personalities come out that we didn't, just so many of those things that are really special. So that's been a hard transition in thinking about the season and the schedule. And I know for our players that will be a big adjustment, and it's meant, the importance of some of the team building that we're doing in some things within practice and in what we are able to do becomes a little bit more critical this year in that loss, both in the on the field and in the off the field ways. But we're excited. We have a 40-game schedule, and we are excited for what it will look like, the mixture of non-league games and the try weekends with our conference. I think it's a great solution to get us to recover some of the games that we won't play down in Florida, that are against teams who we know are testing at the level that we expect and are that piece of things, and to have a 3-game, day, a little bit of, I think those days will have some fun atmosphere. And yep, we'll play some teams in the league for our doubleheader that will count for the season and those weekends. And, in a year like this, I just want to play as many games as possible. And there will be teams we've played before our doubleheader. There will be teams we haven't. And it's just, we're going to play on the days we get a chance to play softball. You can't get worried about those things this year. So it'll be great. It'll be, I think, an exciting season. And we know, there can be the ups and downs in seeing how winter sports and just the teams that are getting a chance to compete. I also really am optimistic that our team will be able to weather the ups and downs and maybe the unexpected things. I think we'll have steady leadership, and I think that our team will be, well prepared to manage the changes that might come to. And so, but yeah, feel good about the schedule and the way it's come together and the solutions that our coaches in the MIAA have kind of come together to land on, and the athletic directors helping make that happen as well. So
you alluded to the level of play, from the other league schools. The MIAA as a whole, softball wise, has been so deep for many, many years. Calvin and Trine and Alma, and go down. Just talk about this year's, having not seen anybody for a year, there's obviously a lot of variables there, but just talk about what you expect to see from the league this year based on just the tradition that is MIAA softball.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a deep league and a deep sport within the MIAA, which is really good. There's times it doesn't feel good, but it really serves our teams well, because we know that teams that have gone through the MIAA, it helps our strength of schedule to have so many strong teams, and so whoever doesn't win the conference tournament likely has a good shot to still make the NCAA tournament if you're in those top 2-3 spots, which is a good benefit to having a tough league. And I think that we'll see perennial powers in our league be strong again this year. Trine is in the preseason for D3, and I think it's going to be a dogfight. I mean, we've seen everybody's juniors and seniors, and that's it. So there will be just a really unique aspect in just even game preparation being different. Things like our hitting charts and spray charts and things that you have a good, usually quantity of at-bats from the previous season to go off of, and less so this year. So it'll be unique. And I think it's just going to be a matter of being able to weather some of the storms that will come in a unique year like this, being able to come ready to play and be in the moment, and kind of one pitch at a time type mentality. And I think that it'll be a fun race.
This is your, I think if I counted right, 11th head season as coach. What makes being the head coach of Hope College softball special to you? When you think on it, beyond obviously just the competing and the, obviously you've had a lot of success, but what makes it just for you so rewarding?
Yeah. I mean, the people and relationships is for sure the number one thing. I mean, it's definitely what make it special here. I mean, assistant coaches who are like family to me, who help strengthen and encourage and help push through the tough stretches and have fun with, is such a key thing that makes it special. But alumni and players, who you get to see grow and develop and then leave this place and go change the world and have impact. It's just really, really special to get to do what I do, and to get to be a small part of players' lives in 18 to 22 year range of life is just, it's really a privilege to have a small chance for influence in those really formative years. So that's just something that makes it really, really special. It's when you think of, kind of that responsibility of coaching at this level, that is really, really great. And, friendships within the athletic department have been such a blessing here, and athletic directors who are in it with us and support us as coaches so incredibly well. And, to be at a place where our administration puts us in a position to win, that's something that's important to me. That's something that, when I interviewed here 11 years ago, the people and the commitment to excellence at this place is what stood out to me. And I would say I found that to be true every day of my 11 years here. So.
Did you always know you wanted to be a softball coach? Was there a moment? I mean, obviously, as a player, you had great experience at Central Iowa and some lifetime memories there, and also a legendary coach as well. Is that what inspired you to pursue coaching as a career? Or where did it start for you?
Yeah, I started coaching in high school. I coached our fifth grade team in high school. I was coaching our middle school team for my high school. So I always had sort of a love of doing it. It became, a job, when I was younger, but didn't really think of it as a career at that point. Went to college, majored in econ, sort of thought I'd be in the business world my whole life, or at least that's what I was envisioning. And that first job out of college just wasn't a great fit. And coaching was always one of those things, like sort of in the back of my mind. And just through working camps and being around the game, um, it was always, when would be in a coaching environment, I always sort of felt like it was this place where um, I felt like alive and totally filled, and where I was really like able to put into use like the gifts God's given me. And so that's sort of what had it kind of creep back in as I was in a job that I wasn't real, happy in and wasn't feeling that fulfilled. And so, yeah, coaching became sort of this thing. I was like, could this be it? And talked to my coach from college a little bit about that and processed through it and kind of landed on like, why not give it a go. And I thought I would want to coach at the college level. So grad school kind of became that next step. And Coach Wares helped me kind of look at some options and land at a school where I could get a good, master's degree that would be applicable in coaching. So sports psych was one that landed in, and I wanted to be at a D3 school with a female head coach that was a perennial winner, and found Ithaca College, which was really 2 really great years of my life and in learning more about coaching. And I'd played for a male head coach, so I really wanted that comparison point of working under a female head coach, which was a really powerful thing. And yeah, did a 1-year program in 2 years because I wanted to be able to coach for 2 years there, and really loved that experience. And it really helped me realize that coaching was it. Full disclosure, I sort of viewed my like business world experience in my mind then as failure, as not having had what it took to, and I really didn't want to bite off more than I could chew in the coaching world. So right after grad school, went back to Central as an assistant coach. I got to be the head JV coach and be an assistant with varsity, and just keep learning from coaches who I knew and respected. The coach I played for, Coach Wares, and his wife also coaches there now, Coach O'Brien, who has been a key mentor in my life as well, both as a coach and as a friend. And so yeah, those 3 years before coming to Hope between grad school were also just really helpful in kind of firming up some of my beliefs and thoughts and ways that I would want to, go about doing things as a coach. So
You obviously have rich experience with Division III athletics as a student athlete and now as a coach. What makes it something that you really think has value, for someone that's considering what to do after they graduate from high school and want to keep playing?
yeah, I love D3. I didn't know anything about, the difference between D3, D2, D1, NAI when I was going through, my college search process. Landed at a school that just felt like the right fit for me in Central. And the breadth of experience I got in college was priceless to me, and being able to, I did 2 sports as a freshman, both volleyball and softball. Loved that. Getting a chance to kind of narrow that in on softball the last 3 years. I was involved in campus ministries and in things within, student life and just so many things on campus. Like I feel like I lived every last drop of my of my college experience, and kind of loved that there was a flexibility to do that at a D3 school, and to be able to compete and play at a high level, having a chance to be in the College World Series 2 of my 4 years of playing, which was a great experience, but also getting a lot of experiences in the off the field that helped shape me into who I was. So I'm absolutely a believer in Division III. I think the sports at this level is the purest you're ever going to get. There's not scholarship, there isn't that kind of exterior motivation. You're playing the sport because you love it. And, at the same time, though, at the D3 level, not many teams are winning at the national level without players that could have gotten money, could have had offers, opportunities to play at the scholarship level. And they choose a school like Hope, like any D3, because there is a little more balance, because there are opportunities to be involved. I find we get some players that they did everything in high school, and they sort of want to be able to have more opportunities than, class, softball, eat, sleep, and, not much in the way of just social and being a college student, things like that. So, you got to find players like that really do want your school, or the balance or faith component. I find at Hope can be a real draw for some. So it's really special. And I think that some coaches view climbing the ladder as, D3, D2, D1. I find climbing the ladder to be winning at this level. And that's what we're trying to do.
And I know, and really part now, you're still actively involved with campus with your role as Dow Center Director and the work you've done there since you came here as Hope. Just talk about what kind of you do and how you try to make a positive impact there as well, in addition to the softball program.
Yeah, so getting to run the Dow, it's sort of morphed over the years. Also was running intramurals the first 9 years at Hope, and ran the Dow with Coach Mo for the first 9 years as well. And then that switched recently to now being Dow Director. It's such a great way to be meeting more people in the Hope community, between student workers. There's about 80 student workers, and getting to know them, students that are here to work out. I mean, the Dow is so important to our campus. I think having a place to recreate and have some fun and be with your friends and IMs, I just think there's a lot of aspects of campus life that happen at Dow that are fun to, be facilitating, which is great. And but also the community members, the faculty and staff and their families that are in here, and noon ball, and those types of things that happen here that are that make that as another responsibility, my other responsibility, really, really fun, and an aspect of kind of getting to know, as someone who didn't go to Hope, it's a great position to be in, to know more of the Hope community and what makes this place special. So.
Well, thank you for talking with us here at the Orange and Blue podcast today, Mary. It's going to be looking forward to seeing the snow melt soon, and see you guys out on the softball field. So good luck this spring.
Absolutely. Thanks, Alan.